Hi, my name is Ann Ruthman, and I'm here to show you how to use statcounter.com to track your web statistics. First thing you'll need to do is register. Since I've already registered, I'm just going to log in. Once you've logged in, you'll want to add a new project, and you'll be creating a standard StatCounter project since no other options are available at this time. You want to create a website title and enter in the URL of the website that you'll be tracking. Choose a category. You set your time zone and your maximum visit length. StatCounter recommends between 1 and 6 hours. I'm going to set it to 6 hours. They give you a log size of 100 most recent visitors, and you can also block your own IP from being tracked so that you're only using that log to track your visitors and not your own visits to your site. And if you have multiple computers that you use, you can enter in multiple IPs. The next thing you want to do is configure and install the code, which takes you through a series of questions. The first question is what kind of counter. I use the invisible counter so I don't have any random numbers or things floating around on my site. Choose whether or not your site has frames. My site that I'll be plugging it into does not, and I leave the rest of those blank unless you really know how to manipulate those to make them work for you. And I'll be using the default install guide. StatCounter then provides you with a code, which is a cookie that you'll be plugging into your website. Highlight it, copy it, and then bring up the site that you'll be plugging it into. I'll be using Blogger for this example. I chose the blog, and then I clicked on template, and then edit HTML. The code you're looking for is the \body tab, and you'll enter the StatCounter code by pasting it right above that tab. And that's it. Pretty simple. And then when you go back to your projects in StatCounter, you'll see that you have your new project installed. Since this is a new project, it doesn't have any visitors yet, and so we have nothing to track, so I'll be using one of my older items. The summary page shows you the total number of page loads and the breakdown of unique and returning visitors. It also helps you kind of recognize when you tend to receive the most traffic. Oftentimes it's linked to the activity that you do on your blog. If it's a blog, every time you publish, you tend to get more traffic because your blog might link to other people's blogs, or people who have subscribed to your blog might see that there's new content information, so they tend to visit more when you publish information. However, on other pages, this might be helpful, like maybe on your website, to track when more unique visitors visit your page, which might help you know when would be best to update your content. The items that I use the most are the recent came from and the recent visitor activity. Right now I'll check into the recent came from, and this shows me all of the links where people are coming from and what pages they are landing on. All of these links are fully clickable, so let's say here it looks like someone's linking to me from a forum and they're landing on the Wig Out video page, so they're probably talking about this Bridezilla video, and if I want to take the time to read it, I would be able to find out who was linking to me and why they were linking to me. I can also see that Gary Fong linked to me on his blog, so it's helpful to know where people are coming from and where they're landing. Another thing that's nice to use for a blog that has a lot of different content, especially if you're publishing fairly frequently, is to check your keyword analysis. And I can see, based on the keyword analysis is a listing of popular search terms, and I can see that the most popular search term right now in the last 100 visits has been Wig Out Girl because of that post I made saying that it was probably a fake and all the reasons why I thought it was fake. And then you can see the breakdown of the other search terms that have been popular to your page. You can also see which are the most popular pages in the last 100 visits. the main Blogspot page has been the most popular, followed by the wig out video, and then people searching under the engagement heading and the wedding heading. So these are ways to analyze how people are viewing your page and what they're most interested in. Let's take a look at a different project and see what kind of information we can glean from this. On a splash page, I'm still interested in where people are coming from, but I'm checking the popularity this time. So instead of using the recent came from, I'm just using the came from, which shows the popularity. And I can see that most people are coming from no referred link at all, which means they're either visiting from perhaps an email or from a bookmark. So these are probably going to be recent visitors or people who are being referred to my site. However, the sites that are linking to me are broken down here by popularity. I can see that WPGA Indiana page is ranked pretty high, Blue Domain, my Blogspot page, and the Michigan WPGA page. So this also helps you determine which perhaps would be the most effective advertising methods for you, or which of your links out there are working the best for you and bringing you the most relevant hits. By checking the recent visitor activity, I can tell where people are checking from, how they're getting to my page. This is a Google search for my name. This is just hitting me from my blog, from various other things. I can also see systems they're using and if my site is optimized for a variety of systems. The more specific your page is, the more relevant the information will be to you. So for instance, on your blog, which might have a lot of content, you might have a lot of visitors who may not be potential clients. Maybe they're just out there searching for you. But maybe your splash page, which doesn't have a lot of content and has very specific keywords or very specific links that link to it, would provide you with more relevant information about the people that are interested in hiring you. Another thing that you could track, which is even more specific, would be something like a slideshow that you have out there that can be emailed to various people. And the nice thing about the limit of the 100 recent visits log is that even if people haven't visited a slideshow in a long time, like this is a very old slideshow and it's only had 2 hits over the last week, I can still see the last 100 visits, even though they're probably spread out over a long period of time. So I'll be looking at the recent visitor activity. And looking at the recent visitor activity for the slideshow gives me information like how local are these people who are visiting the slideshow to my actual client. Did they visit the slideshow through perhaps a webmail that they received? And when they visited, how much time did they spend? Did they spend 0 seconds? So maybe the information was not relevant to them at all and they just thought it was something different. Or maybe they spent the full slideshow time and they watched the whole slideshow. Or maybe they visited multiple times over the course of a day. So these are all interesting things to know, and you can see where those visitors are coming from and how long they're looking at your page and how relevant they may be, perhaps as potential clients or not. You can also check the overall visit length of the last 100 visitors. Most people, I think, are going to end up with a large pocket of people who have spent less than 5 seconds on the site, and that's fine. So just ignore that and then look at these numbers here. I can see that 13 of the visits spent over an hour on this slideshow, so either they really liked it or maybe they just left it open in the background, but that's enough information to tell me that these people really liked viewing this. And then the second largest section here is from 30 seconds to 5 minutes, so they probably did watch a significant portion of the slideshow. I hope this has been a great introduction to StatCounter and that it will inspire you to start tracking your statistics on your website, in your blog, your slideshow, however it may be. It is a little more complicated if you need to edit HTML from an FTP server. You do need to download the file and use an HTML editing client like Dreamweaver or My Publisher. But once you learn how to do that, it's really quick, really easy, and there really isn't any reason why you shouldn't have this extra information at your fingertips. Thanks so much for taking the time to view this video.